All right, they done. We in the building. Big old pimple on my face. What's new? We're gonna do Tampa Bay versus Detroit Lions divisional round playoffs 2024 for the 2023 season. Gonna do a preview, man. It's a lot been going around this game. We played the Bucks once this season. Playing them again. It's totally different. They're a different team. We a different team. Obviously Gardner Johnson and Baker Mayfield had a back and forth. Don't really feel comfortable with the Lions talking shit, but hey, it is what it is. Dan Campbell showed Baker Mayfield some love. The Bucks injury report is 100% clean. The Lions, they also activate James Houston. And Khalif Raymond didn't practice today. So if he don't practice on Friday, a lot of times they don't go. Do me the favor, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel if you like what you're hearing. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget you can listen to this minimum or the maximum tomorrow morning right here on on Spotify or Anchor or aka Spotify for podcasters. Both links in the link tree. Also go watch it live on Twitter and Facebook. So out there, everybody watching live on Twitter and Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. Just hit the link tree, take you completely everywhere I'm at. Want to support the channel? Like I said, the best way is thumbs up, share the video, subscribe to the channel. But if financially you want to support the channel, Cash App, $ CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, roll to the bottom of the screen. In addition to that, PayPal links in the description, all that's in the link tree as well too. So do appreciate y'all for supporting the kid. But yeah, it's a big game Sunday, man. We beat Tampa earlier this season. 20-6. I think the game was a lot more competitive than it made it seem. We made a couple big plays at the end. That was a difference. But different teams, they grown a lot. We grown a lot. We got James Houston back and a few guys that's going to be in for this game. So we went down there, took over their stadium, man. And, at the end of the day, I think the Lions are proving their buying power to the NFL. If you go look for like certain Lions gear, especially remember with the ski mask thing for a minute, you go look for certain Lions gear, you can't, it's all sold out online. What they call it, the Balava ski mask, sold out. It was sold out for a while. I don't know if they restocked it. So you heard Roger Goodell say when he came to Detroit to visit for one of the games, he said networks want the Detroit Lions. I mean, look at the viewership we did this past Sunday. 38 million. 35.8. The Cowboys had the highest for the weekend at 40. But then again, they was playing another, grandfathered in team with the Green Bay Packers. People in LA don't really care about football. Thus, when Matthew Stafford, I'm gonna talk about Stafford and Slay and all that stuff too. I got a video coming talking about it tomorrow. But when Matthew Stafford, played in the Super Bowl, Detroit Lions was the second in viewership in market wise. It was Cincinnati and then Detroit. So to kind of talk about real quick, Matthew Stafford, they had him mic'd up or whatever, and they got mad. He got mad at Kirby Joseph for the hit that I'm gonna go over some things before I get to the game that he laid on Tyler Higbee, and now he's getting the reputation for being dirty, but they're clean plays. Matthew Stafford, I mean, it goes to what Tom Brady said. You can't hang your receiver out there like that. And that's what Stafford did. And what you want him to do, if he go for the midsection and the crown and the helmet go too high, guess what? It's a penalty. If he goes for the up top with the forearm and he touched the head, it's a penalty. So what do? He's gunning, like Dan Campbell said. If you look here, he's gunning for that thigh. That's what he's doing. He gunning for the thigh. And obviously, you see what Matthew Stafford didn't even put the ball on target. He gunning for the thigh. And at the end of the day, he, what do you want him to do? Do we just two-hand touch? Do the NFL player sign a waiver and say, you know what? Hey, take that illegal headshot out the game. Put the illegal headshot back in the game. Do they say that? Matthew Stafford, what's the first thing he said when he was mic'd up? You know what I'm saying? What's the first thing he said when he was mic'd up? He said, that's a good hit, but you dirty. Because he did 2 hits. Hold on. You still hungry? I'll be right back. You still hungry? My bad. Miles is still hungry, so I had to feed him a little bit extra food. But the first thing Matthew Stafford said, that was a good hit, but you dirty. I mean, what do you want him to do? These dudes going 100 miles an hour. They said, well, we encourage you to go low. I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't know. Literally. I just don't know. Not a man getting a reputation for being dirty by playing by the letter of the law. Come on. But Matthew Stafford got to throw a better ball and protect his receivers. It's tight end. It's as simple as that. But let's talk about this. Give me 1 second. I'm going to run through this and get through the Bucs game. So apparently Darius Slay didn't like that the Detroit Lions booed Matthew Stafford. Okay.
Happy for the Lions, man. I'm glad what they're doing is going on crazy over there, playing good, playing great football. Excited for them, man. I see they deserve that, man. But heard they booed Stafford. That's the only thing I don't like. That's kind of bad right there. I ain't gonna lie, Detroit, man. I know y'all playing them in the playoffs and y'all want to win. Y'all could have gave him a little standing ovation for 30 seconds. Just acknowledge that what he did for that organization for 12 years. And but to do that and boo him and his kids and all that kind of stuff, I ain't gonna lie. If I was Stafford, I probably wouldn't step back over there no more. Yeah, that's bad business. They should have kind of fixed that. They should have did that. That was terrible, Detroit, man. We got to be better than that. They got to be better than that, because they some good fan bases as well. But yeah, they can't do that to Staff. Because I came there, even though they was losing, because now they was losing when I came there. They gave me a little standing ovation when I came there. I did a lot for the city as well, but shit. Oh, man, I'm so happy for the Lions, man. Not close to Staff, so I expected him at least. I know they was losing when I came there that time, but now that they win, they want to get uppity like that on that man. And he the one brought y'all back a little bit from 0-16, and he all that. He's a tough dude too. Now he take a lot of hits and came back and broken ribs, winning games for him, and all that kind of crazy shit. And to do stuff like that, that's kind of bad. I don't like that. Yeah, Detroit, man. I know I might probably lose some fan bases over there, but it's all right. But for my dog Staff, that's kind of bad. Though,
do they go to the title game? Do you think?
I want them to go for the city. For the city. Really not for the city. I'm lying. For the players. I lied. The players being amazing. I lied. For the players. For them players doing an amazing job. I love what they're doing. I love what the coaches over there doing, man. They're believing in them, believing in the coaching staff over there. So I love it for the players. I love for the players to get not close to Staff. So I expect.
My thing is this: one, he playing for the franchise who booed Michael Irvin when he hurt his neck. When he hurt his neck, they booed Michael Irvin. That ended his career. They booed Santa Claus. Let's not forget that. So he playing for one of the most vicious organizations, fan bases out there. They vicious. We all know that. Two, why are we giving a standing ovation and it's him between us and winning the playoff game? Now, Kelly Stafford clarified that they were not booing the kids. They was booing her because she don't know how to shut the fuck up. Like most women today, they didn't empower women to go out here and tell business like she was talking about Stafford and their history and how she used to, whatever. I'm not gonna get into it. If we cheered you when you came back, what the fuck that got to do with you? Excuse my language. What's Stafford got to do with you? And we did a lot for the city. That's cool. Shout out to the charity work, but y'all ain't win. Stafford ain't win nothing. Not an MVP, not a playoff game. He won comeback player of the year. That's it. Not a division, not an Asian, not the dud, none of that. So for him to be celebrating and putting the ring of honor is just SOL to me. He didn't win anything. At least Dan Marino took the Dolphins to the playoffs. To the Super Bowl his first year, and he was a phenomenal quarterback. And had Dan Marino won the Super Bowl, he probably would be considered top 3 easy. But not somebody who put him on a pedestal like he Bart Starr or Roger Staubach, or he's Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, bruh. He didn't win anything. And then people rebuttal is this, right? Well, Barry didn't win nothing. For one, Barry won an MVP and rushing titles, and 2, Barry not a quarterback. Running backs are not judged on wins and losses. It helps, but a quarterback touches the ball every play. So that's the difference. He didn't win anything to be celebrated here. What he did in 12 years, Jared Goff did in 3. No. So saying, oh, I heard they booed Stafford, and well, they cheered, and he had, they supported Matthew Stafford. He went to the Super Bowl. How many people I seen out and about with Detroit Rams gear on? How many people I seen with Detroit Rams gear on? So, like I said before, a lot of these people be misinformed, be letting the media get a quote out of them. And, I lost a little bit of respect for him. He in the comments said, so you tell me you can't give him a 10-second? No, why we celebrate somebody that's standing between us and getting a playoff victory? Had it been a regular season game, we'd have supported him. He already got our support when y'all did the Detroit Rams thing. But then again, this is the new athlete. Soft, timid. But Matthew Stafford took it in good stride. He understood. People saying after the game, well, Stafford is salty. He's salty. Wouldn't you be salty? 12 years you couldn't do something. And the minute you asked to leave the Detroit Lions, they get the right people in there, and they couldn't do that 12 years earlier, 8 years earlier, 5. Of course he's salty. He'd rather have won that Super Bowl in Detroit. I bet you if you give him some truth serum, I bet you he would have won that Super Bowl in Detroit. All 4 of his daughters was born in Detroit. They waited for him to request a trade just to get it together and get the right guys in there. Ain't that some bullshit? So, of course, he's salty. Nobody wanted to lose. I don't care if he was salty after the game. I thought he was gracious in defeat. And he played really, really well. But for Darius Slay to go out there and say, like, we ain't supported him and we ain't wear Detroit Rams stuff and, we was wrong for booing him, man, shut the fuck up. And I fuck with Slay, but that's just only other way you got to put it. Shut up. Had it been a regular season game, I think we would have gave him a long standing ovation. But it wasn't that. It's us, but he was standing between us and history. And it ain't nothing personal. Mike said, beat the Bucs. We're a real America's team. Any underdog team is, but the heart of America is, especially in sports, is Cleveland, Detroit. That's the heart of sports. I throw Buffalo in there. Buffalo went to 4 straight Super Bowls. You know how painful that is, and lose all 4 straight NFC East teams. Cleveland went on 16 after we did, I believe, and they lost their original team to Baltimore, right? Benjamin Fall, let me know if you want to come on. The Star Wars Thermos Fire, yeah. I had another one I liked from it was bigger. I had it from GameStop. This a Tarvis. This was more expensive though, but yeah, it's dope. Huge Star Wars fans, for people who don't know. Stafford mad he got exposed as an alter ego stat papper. I don't think he was mad. I don't. Yeah, he won nothing for us. And I ain't saying it's all his fault, but hey, it is what it is. We seen Cam Newton go to the Super Bowl with, Jericho Cotry is his best receiver. Dubs, what's going on? Two different players. Though. Shout out to Cam Newton. He got a good podcast. It's now or never for Detroit. They best chance to get the ship. Man, to me, you might be right because Dan Marino never got back there. But Green Bay, Detroit, Texans, they window just opening. They window is just opening. And that's the crazy thing about it. The Lions got 60 plus million in cap space. They window just open. You look at San Francisco, they don't win it this year. Man, they window is closing. Philadelphia window is closing. Dallas window, they got to pay a lot of people. I mean, to be honest, really the future is now. And like Belichick going to Atlanta, he said, Michael, we about to get one of the toughest schedules next season. I want to see a good draft. They got all that money, man. I really think it's tough. When you a good team, you a good team. You ain't worried about it. They play Buffalo. I think they play Buffalo next year. Played them tough. Should have won last year if it wasn't for the kicker. Should have won in Dallas. So, he sound hurt for the Bucs still, a loss still. He's still in his feelings. He said, well, yeah, Rich, we're playing in first place schedule. But you never know with these NFL schedules what's going to happen. After Stafford and Goff won the big game, woo, woo, he said Kelly put on a podcast about trying to get pregnant again, rich and bored, left my loud. Yeah, these women don't know how to shut up. He ain't win a division in multiplication, nothing. Like we almost never hear from Christian Harper, Goff's fiance. We always hear from Kelly. She can't ever shut her mouth. He said the Lions fans owe Stafford nothing. He didn't win anything in Detroit. Jared has. There go up there and say hi. I want to hear more from her. Nah. Play the background. Who wouldn't be salty after later? I wasn't mad that he was salty. I mean, I don't think he was salty. I thought he took it in good stride. DJ, without that trade, we don't have those draft picks either. That's true. Juan said Jared has multiple playoffs, win division, NFC championship on his resume. He just needs to win the Super Bowl. Yep. Salty, maybe concussion. Yeah, he got fucked up. What's up, Josh? He got fucked up. They're going to be dangerous for years to come. Don't let Detroit mess around and get pass rush. I mean, cornerback then superseded pass rush right now. But with all that money and picks, I mean, it is what it is. I don't know much about the Kool-Aid kid out of Alabama, but that sounds like a perfect fit. Like I said, please beat the Bucs on Sunday. So what happens in the NFC North championship game? San Francisco, but please beat the Bucs. Yeah, San Francisco going. That's a safe bet. Detroit and Green Bay's window just open. The Lions have a bright future. Just fix the defense. Dallas, Philly, San Francisco windows are closing. Yep. Unless San Francisco win. And I think they keep their window open. I know McVay was heated. I mean, this is supposed to be a rebuild year. They was playing with house money. All the pressure was on the Lions, to be honest. They played well. I thought they should have won by more than they won. By that third quarter for Detroit, it's going to be their undoing. The defense team to step up in the third quarter, and the offense just seemed to keep slipping. That's the crazy thing about it. That's crazy. Offensively, I don't know if they need to go up tempo in the third quarter or whatever. Or they need to get the ball in the third quarter first. I don't know. With Dallas and Philly losing, it's destined for Detroit 49ers. Detroit 49ers ain't unbeatable. They're a good team, though. Hard to beat. My boy, how's going? What's going on, Greg? Going pretty good. 2 stops on defense with the competent quarterback play this week. We win this week. I mean, it ain't easy because, Tampa Bay got a good Tampa Bay got a good defense, man. Yep, any given Sunday. What are our chances against the 49ers? I mean, you got a chance. You in the playoffs. A lot of pressure on them. The Lions playing with house money. The only reason they got pressure versus Tampa Bay because they're at home again. They're supposed to beat Tampa Bay, but the Lions playing with house money. Tampa 49ers seem to be like Jared Goff's Achilles heel, though. People ignoring the fact that the offense put up 3 points in the second half. Yep. But also, They held LA. The defense held LA. You know, I think Gardner Johnson made the play of the game, to be honest. He made the play of the game. When he stopped Cooper Kupp one-on-one on that touchdown pass, that was textbook cornerback play. When he stopped Cooper Kupp one-on-one on that fade route in the end zone, whatever that was, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. When he stopped him, that was the game right there. No cap. That was the game. That was the game. That was the game. So, but they haven't been able to fix that fourth quarter. I mean, I think they got more to do with play call and maybe, being a little hold on. I think they got something to do with the play calling, and I think that got something to do with the them being lethargic coming out the half. So, I mean, if I'm them in the third quarter, because Rams only scored 6 in the second half. If I'm them, I'm thinking I'm coming out going a little bit more up tempo. That's what I'm doing. If I'm the Lions, I'm coming out more up tempo in that third quarter. You know, I'm coming out more up tempo. That's just how I'm playing it though. But nonetheless, and I think something else I wanted to speak on. Trying to think. Might be it. But yeah, the Gardner Johnson and Baker Mayfield. I'll close out with that or something. But yeah, Mike Evans is a problem. Chris Godwin is a problem. So, Baker Mayfield, he in that game, he missed some throws that could have changed that game around. People forget that. He missed some throws that could have changed that game around. So, but in that third quarter, that's the Lions' Achilles heel. So how do we, even when they got big leads, when they was in Green Bay, they threw that third quarter away. So they need to figure out, do they go to the Wildcat? Do they go to more trick play? Do they try to get the ball just down the field to somebody? Do they come out and go a little bit more up tempo? I mean, I don't know. That's one of the Da Vinci codes this season that Ben Johnson ain't been able to crack. But like I said, Tampa got a good football team, y'all. And like it or not, they got a good football team. Vita Vea and them guys, they stop the tush push. They gonna blitz you, and we know Jared Goff got a problem when you move him off the spot. So do they do some design moves? That's what I might believe. I think if you're going against that blitz, man, either you want to run and try to get past the first line of defense, or obviously you want to study the blitz, try to pick up the blitzes and try to take your shots down the field. Or you're looking for your one-on-one with St. Brown. But if I'm the Lions, and I know Jared Goff got problem moving his feet, but I think, he forced to move his feet and reset. We know he in trouble. So how about you get him on the boot a little bit more and see if we can get him on the boot and move the pocket away from that blitz a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Get him on the boot, get him some quick throws, get him on the perimeter. I think if he's moving, if he's moving on his own wheel, he might be a better passer on the move. That's what I'm thinking about. When you going against that blitz, you got to pick it up. In Philly, they just chose to keep sending every receiver on the route instead of leaving somebody in the block when they block. And they was blitzing 6, and Philly was just blocking 5. So when they blitzing 6, soon as that ball snapped with the speed they got at linebacker and the natural speed they got at corner, whatever safety or DB screaming off that nickel, screaming off that edge with them backers. So the thing is, you got to get the ball out high. And they're going to jam your receivers. So if they get a good jam on the receivers, it's over with. Because usually you got three seconds to get that ball out. When they blitzing, that's probably more like 1.5. So if you going empty, I mean, you ain't even got a back coming out that can chip and release. So you expecting 5 linemen to pick up six guys. So when you pick up the 5, and you got to hope if your linemen pick up 5, that they pick the 5 up, and it ain't another guy coming free. So when that 6 guy coming, a lot of times you want to throw where he coming from. That's where the weakness in the coverage is at. Or you want to find your hot route. And if your hot ain't coming out the backfield in the flats, you know what I'm saying? Then your hot got to get the free release. That's why them backs out the backfield is so vital. This is why you line them up on the quarterback left and then put them on a route coming out off the right side. Because then that whoever covering that linebacker, that safety, they got to go across the formation. That's why you do that. You put guys in motion so they get a free release so you can't bump them. You bunch them up so they can't bump. So if they going to blitz you, you're going to send everybody on a route. Well, you better bunch them. You guys better be pressed. Guys better get free releases. You better be knowing where that ball go. If that ball off point and they don't win, hey, that's a pick 6. You know? That's a pick 6. So you got to understand the blitz. If you can pick up Tybo's blitzes, you know what I'm saying, and get the ball out fast, there you go. And then the thing about it is, and that's what, people bringing up San Francisco looking ahead. The thing about if you go play San Francisco, you got to wrap up. That's what San Francisco, I seen the Lions a couple of times trying to strip the Rams. Man, when you play San Francisco, you have to wrap up. And one thing I liked about the Lions game Sunday, they sent some messages. They sent some clean messages. They was making some big hits out there on the Rams receiver. And that's what you got to do. But with 49ers, yeah, you want to make the big hits on their receivers. You want to wrap up. And I think Tampa Bay got a really, really good guy over the middle and get some good, yards like St. Brown, and that's Chris Godwin. You got to wrap up on Chris Godwin. Mike Evans, you know what he's doing. Running 9, skinny posts, post corners, he wanting everything deep. He come back and do it. He gonna run everything deep. He gonna run the comeback to counter that. So, you know what he's doing. So, David Moore had a touchdown the other night. So, like I said before, they gotta protect the end zone with Mike Evans. Mike Evans, he like the modern Randy Moss. He had 3 catches for 150. It's over with. It's a difference in the game. He ain't gonna go over the middle and do all that type stuff. But so I think it's a good matchup. I think it's gonna be competitive. And I just think the third quarter. What can we do to come out better in the third quarter? I think they should go more up tempo coming out. I really do. Come out more up tempo. Come out, no huddle, third quarter, get a rhythm going. Well, you notice, you see teams go no huddle when they get down, and it changes the momentum. Draws work, run plays work, all types of stuff. I think they should come out in the half with no huddle. But this is one of them games where you need Donovan Peoples-Jones, Jameson Williams, and Josh Reynolds to show up on the outside the hashes. This is that game. Even San Francisco, this is the game. San Francisco is going to bring pressure. I mean, we should know very, very well because we played the Steve Wilkes defense last year in Carolina, and that's what stopped us going from the playoffs. Todd Bowles going to prepare you for that. So, at the end of the day, you can't sleep on Tampa. Baker Mayfield, for every playoff win he get $250,000. You think he ain't motivated? Baker Mayfield, a damn good quarterback. He said, I'm willing to give up outrageous receiving yards if our red zone defense and safeties play well. You got to get takeaways. and you playing Mike Evans, them outrageous receiving yards going to be touchdowns. That's the difference. When you dealing with Mike Evans, a busting coverage or you getting beat one-on-one, that's a touchdown. That's the difference. So in San Francisco, it's a little bit different. They running like running backs at receiver. They might not get the deep ball on you. The deep ball is created off the boot. Created off the play action, excuse me. But Mike Evans, you blink, he got 5 catches for 300 yards damn near. People forget why I said the Lions said they wanted to win a division and playoff game this season. They did that. There's no pressure there. Well, it's a little pressure playing Tampa because people expect you to beat Tampa, being an 8-9 team or 9-8 team at this point. Debo and Little is going to be a real problem for the Lions. Kittles, he mean. I'm not worried so much of Kittles, more McCaffrey. I think you stop. I'm not looking ahead to them, man. We gotta win the ball. J-Mo, D-ball, first play of the third quarter. It sounds good, but I'm more of a, just get a rhythm going. Legal up to you think Ben Johnson still leave Charger job like it's Harbaugh. Well, Harbaugh just interviewed for Atlanta. You just don't know. There might be other jobs that open up when teams leave. He said if the Lions do somehow make the Super Bowl, Mahomes, Lamar, Josh Allen gonna be a prospect. I'm not worried about Josh Allen. We played him last year pretty well. We should have beat him. So I'm not worried about Josh Allen. I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes neither. I'm worried about Lamar Jackson. I ain't worried about Josh Allen, bro. We played him really, really well last year. And Josh Allen going to give you some picks. Mahomes, Stroud, and Lamar pretty much protect the football. Man, I won a 2 or 3 touchdown game from Jameson Williams. Jameson still have yet to break out. Yeah, it is what it is. When they don't highlight you and you ain't the vocal point of the offense, it's hard to break out. When St. Brown is your go-to guy, and the team's gonna take away St. Brown. They're gonna try to bracket him, but at that point, guess what? Josh Reynolds stepped up. Sam Laporta get a little bit healthy. That's what the team's gonna want to do. They're gonna take away Laporta. They're gonna take away St. Brown. So who's gonna have to step up? Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery catching the ball at the backfield, J-Mo, Peoples-Jones, Khalif Raymond, hopefully get healthy, and Jameson Williams. Third quarter woes somehow the defense never lets the game get out of them. That's true. Knock on. He said we need J-Mo breakout, give us an extra playoff boost. It'll be interesting. It is definitely Urban Alien 24/7. It will be interesting. And this may be the game to go on tempo because when you blitz, you got to know your assignments. You got to remember that when you blitz, you got to know your assignments. That's the difference. When you blitz, you got to know your assignments. That's the difference. When you blitz, you got to know your assignments. So if you go up tempo, you know what I'm saying? And they blitz and they trying to get a call in, that might even stop the blitz. So I think up tempo might be the move versus this defense. No huddle. Do you think James Houston will make a big impact? Probably not. Kirby just on some hero on defense. Yeah, he played better when he got another coverage safety. When he got a safety that can cover next to him. When he ain't got to do the one-on-one responsibility. When he able to ball hawk and play the middle of the field, he can do well. But when he got to get in there and cover guys one-on-one and man coverage, that's not a strong point. What up, though, CJ? This game gonna be good. It's gonna be good, man. Baker Mayfield is a fiery guy. I told people I'm a Baker Mayfield fan. I ain't gonna lie. When he beat Ohio State and stuck that flag in the middle of the Ohio State field, I was like, I fuck with Shawty. I fuck with Baker Mayfield. Tough. I like people like Baker Mayfield that talk that shit. I like that. Phillip Rivers. That's why I used to like Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers used to be talking cash money shit out there to them boys. I like the fiery guys, no matter what their ethnic background and where they come from. Because you an insane quarterback to talk shit. Because it's 11 guys that's trying to get you out the game. That's when you'll talk shit from the quarterback position. It's 11 guys trying to take you out. You know? 11 guys. It's 11 guys. He said that's the worst worry about a running back like McCaffrey. Remember, number one run stopper. McCaffrey different. McCaffrey is the reason that offense go. That's the same thing when Jared Goff played with the Rams. People forget Todd Gurley got injured that year they went to the Super Bowl, and that's why they lost. He wasn't the same guy. The 49ers, the offense started with Christian McCaffrey and really end with him. It's not what he could just do out the backfield. It's what he can do catching the football. If you stop Christian McCaffrey, guess what? I ain't got to respect the play action. You know what I'm saying? Now Brock Purdy is really, he really got to redo defenses. I watched that Shanahan offense, man, growing up. The Denver Broncos, Terrell Davis was my next favorite running back next to Barry Sanders. When that running game is going, that's what makes the 49er offense so good. Since Tampa is most likely going to take away St. Brown, LaPorte, I like Reynolds and Jamon to have a step-up game. Don't sleep on Donovan Peoples-Jones. Phillips Rivers used to have me rolling, talking cat, and he didn't cuss neither. He didn't cuss. If Phillip Rivers went to New York, he probably would have won the championship. That's why Archie didn't want Eli going into the Chargers. Everybody talk about, Herbert ain't no good. Well, man, look at Phillip Rivers. They had the number one offensive defense at one point in the same season and didn't make the playoffs. People talk about cursed franchises, the Chargers, the Lions, the Bengals, the Browns. Come on. And real talk, a little bit of, I'm pretty sure a little bit of the Lions fans, they feel for Buffalo. They feel for Cleveland. Even when Cincinnati went, you felt like the Lions went low-key a little bit. You felt like it was possible that the Lions can go. You felt like it's possible that the Lions can go. The Bengals gave people hope. Shitty owner. You felt that it was possible. I root for teams like that, bro. And it'd be tough to go in there and play Buffalo. Because what they've been in the Super Bowl, what they've been through. San Francisco, not so much. They didn't have their Super Bowl victories. Montana, Steve Young. And it'd be tough for them because my thing is the L&L for the Super Bowl. Lions and Lamar. That's what I want. The Lions don't get out with Lamar to get it. But I don't want Lamar to beat our ass, though. Then after that, I'm with the black quarterbacks after that. Stroud, Mahomes. But if you had to ask me outside the Lions, Lamar, Stroud, Jordan Love. I've been an advocate of Jordan Love. I remember I was the only one really advocating for Jordan Love. I said, man, that don't make no sense for them to move on from Aaron Rodgers like that, and they don't believe in this kid. And that's why Aaron Rodgers was so threatened by Jordan Love real quick, is because he knew how good the kid was. I called it. I said the Packers, Jordan Love can play. If y'all remember that shit, I called it. I was the only person saying that. Even Green Bay fans didn't believe in him. I said Jordan Love can play. I didn't know what type of coach Matt LaFleur was because obviously Aaron Rodgers, you know what I'm saying? But I called it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I said Jordan Love gonna be good. I knew it. Come on. I knew it. Dog a problem. I just look at him throw the Andy Reid threw some shade at him last year. I look at him throw the ball, the way he moved. He remind me of Rodgers. That's one thing you got to have going up to Green Bay. You got to have a cannon. Cannon to the left, cannon to the right. I knew he was going to be good. I looked at him like, yeah, dog can play. He said they can't take away St. Brown. It's coverage. It's what he run, inside, out, unbumpable routes. We got too many weapons. They got weapons too. That tight end got off last week. I sure wish I'd have started him on FDS. Chargers had LT, they would have won that Super Bowl. They would have won it that year. Yeah. LT is that dude, bro. People forget LT snapped old boy leg in half on national television. People forget that. He ain't mean to. Wonky drugs, who you want to be the offensive coordinator? I ain't really thinking that far. I mean, usually we talking about the draft by now. Ain't that wild? D-Lo, salute. He said, I ain't trying to see Lamar again. Yeah. I mean, I wanted us to get Lamar. I was one, standing on there. Man, I'm happy for him, bro. I love Lamar Jackson. I love CJ Stroud too, man. I enjoy watching that kid play. If Houston healthy, he can beat. Yeah, they can. Oh boy, ain't playing tomorrow. Ain't playing Sunday neither. My kid from Alabama. What's their best corner name? Marlon Humphrey. He's out. And they played in the first game of the season. So all the pressure on Baltimore. That's the problem. All the pressure on Baltimore. Houston just playing with Houston, just like Detroit, Tampa. They ain't playing for nothing. Tampa supposed to be rebuilding. Green Bay stayed with a good quarterback. Yup. Traded for Brett Favre, drafted Aaron Rodgers. We'll see about Houston. Hopefully he holds up. LT. Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about Daniel Tomlinson. I'm like, oh. I thought you were talking about Lawrence Taylor. That would have been like, what, Dan Fouts year? What you say? Let me go back to your comment. The Chargers had Lawrence Taylor. They should have won it that year. Oh, yeah. I said Lawrence Taylor again, LaDainian Tomlinson. A few years he was there and they sucked. Remember they had rest in peace to Malcolm Floyd, or is it Vincent Jackson that passed away? My bad. Vincent Jackson, Malcolm Floyd. Yeah, rest in peace to Vincent Jackson. As a team. Some franchises just be cursed, bro. Shit, word to the mother. Shout out to my New York ninjas. You got to remember too. Jacksonville should have went to the Super Bowl. They had a lead going into the halftime against New England. Had they just had competent quarterback play, they would have won to the Super Bowl and probably won it. That was a hell of a team. Malik Jackson, Jalen Ramsey. They had a hell of a team. Hell of a team. Remember Mike McMahon? Yeah, the quarterback out of Rutgers. Yeah, Mike McMahon was my white boy. Mike McMahon was my white boy. Yup, Mike McMahon, Drew Stanton. Yeah, man. I was a faithful Lions fan. Hey, Mike McMahon, he ran a 4.55, I think. Remember they had David Garrard, in Jacksonville. Jimmy Smith, he was born in Detroit. The receiver Jimmy Smith played at Jacksonville. Yeah, he was born in Detroit. And the receiver from the Titans that made the Super Bowl with Steve McNair, Derek Mason, he went to Mumford. How far do you think the secondary? Man, Philadelphia. I mean, I'll just say this. Philadelphia won the Super Bowl and all their secondary was injured. All their corners was injured. I think they got some answers on the team, bro. I would put Melifonwu at cornerback. In situations, I put Gardner Johnson at cornerback. That's what I do. They got answers. It's just that if Aaron Glenn want to make the call, y'all got any questions, I answer them. But let me see if we can pull this up. That's if Aaron Glenn want to make the adjustments. He just seemed not to want to make them. You got to ask him why he don't put Melifonwu at cornerback. But they got two safeties that can cover. They got three safeties that can play corner, and Tracy Walker too. But hey, to each his own. To each his own. But they got some guys that can step in there and play. Let's see. So apparently CJ Gardner Johnson and Baker Mayfield went back and forth. He called Baker Mayfield, basically said he wasn't a good quarterback. So basically, CJ Gardner Johnson turned around and said that the Bucs got a really good receiving core, but if they had a better quarterback, if they had a better quarterback, they'd be even more dangerous to Baker Mayfield because he named Russell Gage, and Russell Gage hadn't played this year. And so Baker was like, well, Russell Gage ain't played for us the majority of the year. He don't know what he's talking about. So, but the last week, safeties Gardner Johnson took a dig at Baker Mayfield by complimenting Tampa's receiving core, calling it a great group if you give them a good quarterback. If you give Tampa a good quarterback, that's a good group. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Russell Gage, that's a great group. I played against them for a year, Gardner Johnson said. He said Mayfield got his chance to respond on Wednesday by pointing out that Gardner Johnson hasn't really watched film on them this season because Gage hasn't played a snap for the Bucs in the regular season after suffering the torn pectoral tendon during training camp. In Gardner Johnson's defense, he didn't specifically specify that Mayfield wasn't a good quarterback. He said the Bucs have a good quarterback. Their receiving core will put up numbers that ranked with the best with the best groups in the NFL. So both Godwin and Evans had more than 1,000 yards during the regular season. Bucks were one of 4 teams with the pair of teammates surpassed 1,000 yards. The Dolphins, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek, Brandon Ayuk and George Kittles, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. You're probably trying to get under their skin, and people don't like that Baker kind of bark a little bit or whatever the situation may be. But I think Baker Mayfield kind of opened himself for criticism being a quarterback and kind of barking and talking shit to people. He opened himself up for that criticism. So people are gonna try to get up under his skin and all that type of stuff, or whatever. But it was a classy response. I don't like the Lions talking a lot of shit. Honestly, just go out there and play. But Gardner Johnson, he the battery. Kind of like Jamal Williams was the guy last year that talked a lot of that rah-rah. That was our rah-rah guy. A lot of people kind of felt deflated when we lost him. Now Gardner Johnson is stopping up. He that rah-rah guy. You gonna know since he been back, he been instilling confidence. He been talking stuff. You need those guys. Everybody just figure out you need choir boys. No, you need guys that's gonna talk shit. And that's kind of what the Stafford and Calvin Johnson and Ndamukong Suh era was missing. They didn't have nobody that was gonna be vocal and fire these guys up. The Lions got that in Gardner Johnson, who gonna talk shit, who gonna take the pressure, who gonna step up. And he left that Eagle secondary. Shannon Sharp pointed this out on First Take this week. When he left that Eagle secondary, it ain't been the same. When you got a guy that can play all the corner spots and play safety, who can make big hits, when he back out there, the Lions, this keep your head on the swivel. They making big hits. They making big hits. They flying around and doing what they got to do. So he bring a certain juice to the equation. He bring a certain juice to the equation. Baker Mayfield is one of those guys that's a rah-rah. He a little bit beat up, had the rib injury last week and played well. But at the end of the day, the Lions got to do what they got to do, and they got to get after him. Smaller quarterback, you want to put pressure right in his face. And that's what you want to do. He can, be a little bit mobile and all that type stuff, but he ain't got the best arm in the world where he could just flick it like Stafford. Stafford put on the light show the other night. He put on a light show. He was throwing darts out there. He was throwing poisonous darts out there. That's what he was doing. But in my opinion, they gotta bring that intensity they brought versus the Rams. They was out there, they couldn't stop them from passing, but when they caught the ball, they was cracking their ass. They was cracking them. And the thing about the Lions, they built to go on the road, and they built to go on the road, and they built to go in the they built out for the outdoors. So they built for it. I wish we can get a look at the Gilmore kid. I mean, you don't want to throw a kid out there that ain't ready, especially coming off injury. But if you got to, you got to. I may see that Gardner Johnson follow Evans. I like Melifano to follow him, to be honest. Melifano seeing to float to different person, and that's what they need. Gardner Johnson as well. I know you have a good squad over there at Tampa. I'm just not worried about no upset. Like you Lions, you should be worried. It's the Lions. You never know what can happen. You can't afford to overlook anybody in the playoffs, but then it's still the Lions. He said, "What do you think about James Houston?" We gotta wait and see. I don't know. I don't know. CJR Draymond Green. Yeah, you need a guy like that, a vocal leader. You need that. That's gonna put batteries in guys' back who gonna instill confidence. That's one of the things Rasheed Wallace did for the going to work Pistons. Like I said, I got any questions, I answer them. That's what one of the things Rasheed Wallace did for the Pistons. He gave them a mouthpiece. They was humble, but you need one of them dudes that's gonna change the tempo. You need one of them dudes that's gonna take the pressure off. You need that. Sometimes you want to let them know you coming. The Lions ain't gonna be able to sneak up on people next year. They gonna know we coming. So why not holler at them? Holler at them. Why not holler and let them know you coming? Why not bark and let you know they about to get their ass bit? I love it. Ben Johnson play call is almost there. Still needs to use more fullback for the run. I agree. J-Mo so underutilized for play action in general. I think he underutilized in general. I think they should just keep calling his number. Keep calling it. Keep calling it. Then that's gonna open it up for everybody else. When you got somebody that can, catch it and take it to the house, that's dangerous. So then they start playing tight on him. Then he can run past them. But hey, we have to wait and see. But yeah, it's gonna be a good game for sure. I think Khalif Raymond is a little bit missed too. Hope they wear the creamsicle jerseys. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people hate them jerseys. I love them. But yeah, get the run game going. But you can run against that defense. You'll be all right. They one of the top run defenses too. Big stout up front, big defensive linemen, strong guys, and fast linebackers. That's the difference between them and Dallas. Dallas got they built for speed in the front line, and they built for speed in the linebacker court. Where Tampa, they got the girth on the front line, but they got the speed at the linebacker court. So, you think Tampa Bay any better than what we faced last week? I mean, it's different strokes for different folks. Defensively, absolutely. Defensively, absolutely. They linebackers are so fast. They so disciplined. They gap control defensively. So yeah, offensively, yeah, they may not move the ball in a way that they may not move the ball in a sense of what Stafford did, chunk plays, but Baker Mayfield capable. If he can catch some fire, we can be in some trouble, man. I respect Tampa, bro. I respect any opponent that make it this far. Y'all think we just about to run through Tampa? Oh, we about to run through Tampa. This shit about to be easy. It ain't never easy in the playoffs, bro. Lions fans don't have a right to be cocky. Lions fans don't have a right to be cocky. He ain't earned that right yet. Philly ran good against them, but went away from it. Yeah. Philly also, you got to respect you also got to respect Jalen Hurts' legs. You got to respect Jared Goff legs. That's the difference. That's the difference. So you ain't got to respect Jared Goff legs. I like to see J-Mo return kicks until 11 gets back. I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe in situations, but you want to be able whoever can secure the kick, who can secure the catch. You don't need that Michigan shit almost happening. To be honest, Goff can throw some decent fade routes to the outside, but he doesn't like to do that a lot. Maybe he ain't comfortable with it, or maybe the play caller ain't calling it. So, Tampa go look at what they did last time. It's a different look for the Lions though. Last time, if you look at the overall team. So, but like I said, I got any other questions, I answer them. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good competitive game. I got them losing. I got them the game in the under. I think 49.5 is the over under. I got them going under that. I got the Lions winning 24-20. I think the Bucks cover, but I think the Lions hit the money line. But hey, like I said, I can see it going the other way. You just never know. Tampa ain't got no pressure. They ain't supposed to be here. Baker wasn't supposed to be the guy. So he said you got to realize they lived into the playoffs. There was nobody in the. And yeah, that's cool. That don't mean they ain't a good football team. They played us pretty competitively last time. A couple throws Baker Mayfield make, man. That game is a one possession game. So you could say, oh, they lived into the playoffs and they here. And they got no pressure on them. There's no pressure on Tampa Bay, bro. They not supposed to be here. They got a veteran bunch. A lot of these guys that won a Super Bowl before. So you just looking at it as, oh, they 8-9, man. Them motherfuckers might be the 9-18 that go to the Super Bowl. You just never know. You got to respect every opponent. We whooped them in their house. Now they come in. I mean, whatever you did in the regular season, you got to throw that out. That's the regular season. This the playoffs. And they're an experienced bunch. Baker Mayfield has won a playoff game, right? Before here, been to the playoffs before this. Mike Evans didn't win a Super Bowl. Godwin didn't win a Super Bowl. The offensive line a little bit shaky, it looked like. Devin White, Levante David, Vita Vea, William Gosser from Cass Tech. They got a good team. Antoine Winfield Jr. So you got to respect every opponent at this point. You all looking forward to San Francisco is mad disrespectful. I would like to see J-Mo target a lot more. Yeah, I mean, but when you get to this point, you got to just, you got to milk the cow that gave you the damn whole milk that you eating cereal with. But if the coverage dictated, then you got to give him an opportunity. You hope that he sees it. But you notice down the stretch of that game, they was going to David Montgomery because they knew he a veteran. He going to protect the football with two hands. So, but yeah, man, I look forward to it, but I ain't overlooking Tampa. They here to spoil the show. So, but yeah, man, that's all I got, man. Appreciate y'all, man. This will be on Spotify, Anchor probably tonight, or at least by the morning. Hit the link tree, man. You can find me on Spotify, Anchor for Podcast, aka Spotify Podcast, aka Anchor, Instagram, X, Twitter, Facebook, the whole nine, man. Want to donate to the channel, Cash App, $, CJ Good 313, roll at the bottom of the screen. Venmo, CJ Good 313, PayPal link description. All that's in the link tree in the description. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.